What is up, everybody? Welcome to another fresh take. Mrs. T, how you doing, man?
Hey, that fools. What's going on?
Okay, so I asked Mrs. T to join me because, uh, as you know, there have been a lot of delays in the movie verse because of the pandemic, and I wanted to get his thoughts by asking him a couple questions because he works in the film industry and get his thoughts on what he thinks. So one of the things is we have now a lot of companies, corporations have their own streaming platforms. HBO has theirs, Disney has theirs, NBC has theirs, not to mention Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon. And with places not being able to have full capacity crowds due to the pandemic, unless you're in Florida. We're not gonna talk about that though.
Boy,
Yeah,
I'm in Florida, so yeah.
yeah, but uh, not having full capacity. And I want to pose this question to UT: is it a smart move for a company like, say, Disney or HBO, but since HBO does have, since they pretty much own Warner Brothers and all of DC, I'm and I'm just talking about the big movies they have, like the superhero stuff and some of their bigger movies. Is it a
hmm
smart move to say, okay, look, we know we spent this much money on these films, and we got to get our money back? Would it be a smart thing to do in theater as well as on demand and on their streaming platforms?
Yeah, I guess it depends on who you are. Uh, if you're Disney and you got Disney Plus, I think there's enough subscribers at this point where you
Mm-hmm.
can make pretty decent money. Um, but even if you don't have your own platform, I mean, I don't know how that would work on say like a Netflix if they obviously they have the Apple, what is it called?
I
Um,
forgot what Apple's called. I think it's AirPlay.
yeah, so they have that, and you can put stuff basically for sale on there. That worked really well for that Trolls movie, but again,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll work for everything. Um, a lot of the smaller films, if you put those just on demand, they will just die. Like nobody will watch them because you're not spending a lot of money to promote those movies. And so
Mm-hmm.
where you could just have somebody walk in and it could be counter programming to something else, some bigger movie, and they get decent eyes on it for that. That's not going to work. So for the bigger movies, I think they have a lot less to lose. But clearly they don't feel that way because they keep getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. They're just hoping and waiting uh, to some point. I don't think it'll be till next summer before people are comfortable, and it's just like we have to have a vaccine obviously by then, hopefully. And just for people to be comfortable, even after you get a vaccine, everybody's not going to run back in droves to the theaters,
No,
So just because they're
because it's
open.
not
I
the,
mean, look at
the
Florida. Like you said,
yeah,
we're open, but nobody's going to the theater still.
yeah.
They'll go to the
Like,
bar, they'll go out to eat once in a while, but they're not going to theaters. That's a
well,
different luxury, you know.
well, I think too is like I think people overestimate like, oh well, if we open everything back up, everything's gonna flood back. No, they're not.
No.
No, people because at first there was a lot of people saying, well, I don't know anybody that's died from coronavirus. I know I had a couple of friends of mine that I graduated with that died. I've
I
had,
know I know at least two people.
yeah,
So
I know at least four. So I'm sitting here like people. It's getting to the point now where a lot of people saying, "Nah, man, that's not true." So people are like, "Okay, I'm happy you're open, but if I see too many people in there, I ain't going."
yeah.
They
Right.
just
And
like,
it's
I'm
not
not going. So
right. And it's not just about dying because we have what 8 million cases or so
yeah,
now in this country,
yeah,
which is unbelievable.
it's
Um
ridiculous.
Even if just getting it, like it
Yeah,
can mess you up. I don't think people understand. I mean, I know why they don't. We have some jackhole plant downplaying it.
yeah,
But people don't understand. Like just getting it. it can mess you up, like
Yeah.
potentially for years. But certainly it can it messes with your
Respiratory.
nervous system,
And your
and it makes you forget things, and it all kinds of stuff. It messes with your mind. So it's not just some flu, even though, like I said, we have some idiots out there that keep spreading that. People, you're not just worrying about not dying from it. You're worrying about getting sick from it, because it could potentially mess you up in other ways. Especially if you have some kind of pre-existing problem, so
which in and of itself is a scary enough fact.
Right. We don't know enough about it. Like, people think, oh, I get it. It's not like the flu. I get it, and then it's gone, and I'll have to worry about it again for the season. That's not necessarily the case. Somebody got it. I guess maybe they thought they were immune after that, got it again, and died. So we don't know enough about it. So people aren't going to mess around just to go see a movie, because first of all, most people are like, I don't care about the movies anyway. I wish they would put everything on my TV so I can watch it from home. That's what a lot of people. That's how a lot of people feel anyway.
And that's where I came in, because like I had a couple friends of mine. They asked me, did I go see New Mutants? I'm like, I'm not going to see that. No, first of all, I wouldn't go in if there wasn't a pandemic.
I know that's another thing. It's like where you could get people to go see your bad movie sometimes. If the theaters was open, they're definitely not going to take a chance on a bad movie. It's got to be something they really want to see, like a Marvel something, or an Avatar or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, your big movies, like your Avatar, your Wonder Woman, your Black Widow,
right?
Your Bond movie. Yeah, people they're gonna be some people that's gonna be like, you know what? If I go early enough in the morning, people still be asleep.
Right. I go early enough, go by myself, maybe me and two people. We go in there with our masks. We wear. We have our sanitizer with us. We good to go. I'll take a chance on that. But most people ain't chancing to go see. What was that movie? Nobody's gonna chance to go see something like Cats or something. So movies that are potentially could bomb or potentially be right on the line and just make money. Those movies are really gonna get hurt. So
if your movie, like, because I just reviewed Welcome to Sudden Death, the Sudden Death reimagining or whatever that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Now that movie has its share of problems, but I'm like, Netflix is perfect for it, because
right.
Like if that movie, because they said that movie was supposed to have came out in theaters. I think the original release date was supposed to be in August. I'm like, I'm glad that didn't.
Right.
Because like I said, it's perfect for Netflix or Hulu or Amazon, but people spending $10+ because now matinee is like $10, depending on where you at, and depending on what you watch. Because if you watch 3D, you probably spending $13. If you're IMAX or D-Box, that's even more. So yeah, I think movies like that, I think they'll be fine if they already just go straight to Netflix or straight to Hulu or straight to Amazon Prime, because one, they didn't spend that much to make it. These movies ain't being, if Netflix spent $90 million for Bright, and I think 125 for Six Underground.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow. I don't know what they're doing with it. That's what I was gonna say. It's like, for us as a consumer, obviously for Netflix, those movies will probably do well.
Netflix loving this.
Yeah. So for consumers, if I went to the movies and saw something like, I don't know, the Power movie with Jamie Foxx, or Six Underground, I'd be kind of mad. I'd be like, I would have rather seen this at home and not wasted my time and money and effort to come out here and see this. So Netflix is doing really well with stuff like that right now, like Extraction. Actually, if I went and saw Extraction in the theaters, I would have been just happy with that. Like I thought that was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, like for me, I thought Six Underground was okay.
What was the other one with the Charlize Theron and there? She was like immortal and
the God movie.
I can't remember the name of it.
That.
But that's the thing, though. I can't remember the name of that movie. If I'd have seen that in theaters, I'd have probably been like,
And that movie was supposed to came out in theaters, actually.
Right. So watching it on Netflix was like, oh, this works. It was entertaining. It was a little annoying in some parts, but I was
Yeah,
entertained and I didn't spend anything other than
yeah,
my subscription.
yeah, whatever the subscription price is, because they did
Yeah.
have that under the 4K model. So if you had the 4K price range, you could watch it in 4K. But yeah, so that's the other thing too. I think that because I watch Double Toasted with Corey and Martin and
Yeah, me too.
those guys. And Corey, I want to say a couple weeks ago, he made a good point. And I think it's true that what's going to wind up happening with theaters. Theaters are going to wind up being premium places. Like
Mm-hmm.
you go to, they're actually going to have like full on restaurants and all that stuff, or it's going to be full on drive through, and that's where you go watch your Inceptions and your Tenants
Yeah.
and your Infinity War and your Endgame.
There are right. There are actually theaters like that right now. Those guys are going to
Right,
benefit
but I
really
think,
well. They have nice plush
I think
seating and air conditioning and all that stuff.
yeah, but I think that's going to be what
That's the
everybody's going to
standard.
do. Yeah, because
Yeah.
right now, I mean, like AMC and Regal. Well, I got mad at Regal because the week after the shutdown happened in March, they were talking about they were bankrupt. I'm like, no, y'all not.
Yeah, that's
Now I can believe that.
y'all trying to get a handout or something.
Yeah,
Y'all ain't
the
bankrupt.
week after.
A week.
Come on, man, y'all just had movies in the March 20th.
You guys must have been in trouble. If you're bankrupt a week after the shutdown, you guys must have already been in some serious trouble.
Yeah. So like, and I think places, corporations like Regal and AMC, they can maneuver stuff to make that happen. And I know because I think me and you have actually talked about this before, where we was talking about like all the plethora of like rom-coms that come out on Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime. Is like, dude, it's smart for those to come out there because, to be honest, ain't nobody trying to spend no money to go see that.
Right.
So, yeah, let me watch this at home.
A certain time of year, if you got something happening on Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, then people will probably go out for that. But like for the rest of the year, nah. Yeah, July. Nah.
Because like one of my favorite ones is Always Be My Maybe with Ali Wong and Russell Park, because I love Ali Wong. Her stand-ups are freaking awesome. And that movie had me crying laughing because of the Keanu Reeves scene in the.
Yeah, that was great. I love that.
That was hilarious. That whole movie was hilarious, but that part,
yeah. It's like, well, that's not fair.
Dude, but, yeah, and I will tell anybody. I tell people all the time, I am not the biggest fan of I hate rom-coms. But my cousin, she called me. She was like, "Hey, I think you'll find this funny. I know you like Ali Wong's stand-up. Just give it a shot." I'm like, all right. I'm at the house. It's a weekend. I ain't got nothing to do. I watched it. One of my favorites.
Yeah, there are exceptions. Like, and they're not. You don't see them very often. My best friend's wedding, I thought was really good. I don't know if Something About Mary qualifies as a rom-com. It kind of is, but it's very different.
Yeah, you can say that.
There's again Ryan Reynolds again, and Best Friends. I love Best Friends. Probably one of my favorite rom-coms. He's in a couple of rom-coms that I really love. I can't remember the other one. He's talking to his daughter, and it's like flashbacks, and it's like Something Ordinary, something like that. But they don't come along very often. Most of them are terrible. Like most of them are.
You can see stuff coming from a mile away.
Yeah, it's usually pandering garbage that you usually see with rom-coms these days, for the most part. So yeah, that's a good place to land them on. Put them on streaming. Like people will watch them on there.
Yeah.
What was that one that came out recently with? What's his name? Oh my god, I can't think of his name. Who's the comedian that was really good in the 90s and he makes all these terrible movies now?
There's a few of them.
Yeah, I know. I can see his face, and it's so weird. The Water Boy. What's his name?
Adam Sandler.
I was about to call him Andy Kaufman for some reason. Adam Sandler. So he does a bunch of garbage, and he produces stuff too. So there's a couple of them that that I find guilty pleasures. Grandma's Boy being one, produced by Adam Sandler. I thought, it's probably a terrible movie, but I love it. It's just stupid enough for me to like it. And it has, the gamer, that whole gamer side to it too. With them working at a game studio and stuff. So that kind of pulled me in too. But that's the kind of stuff that, you don't want to go to the theaters to see because it'll annoy the crap out of you and it'll piss you off.
Yeah, because you spend
and
money
I think
for it.
Streaming is great for that. That's why he does so well with Netflix. He has, pretty good Netflix deal, and they put out a couple movies at least a year. So,
and that brings me up to this point because I just found this out a couple days ago. But Coming to America, Amazon went and bought the rights to the sequel.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I'm glad. I'm glad they made money because I think the budget was like 35 or 40 million, and they sold it for 125.
Yeah, so they made money off top
anyway. They made good bank. They don't have to worry about advertising or anything. That's all up to Amazon to do. But I just kind of wanted to see that in the theaters, like
that was one that I did, but I knew it wasn't going to make money in a pandemic society.
Well, not now. Yeah, for sure, not now.
So because. If I'm not mistaken, I think Netflix actually got Beverly Hills Cop 4.
Oh, they did. Oh, yeah. They got
it. He's gonna, because he has, not only does Eddie Murphy has a stand-up he's supposed to do with Netflix, but he also has 2 other movies, and Beverly Hills Cop is one of them.
Yeah.
So, because I thought they were going to get Coming to America, but apparently Amazon outbid them.
Yeah, they got outbid.
Yeah, so
Amazon. Netflix is spending so much freaking money already; they couldn't afford it.
But they bringing in so much too. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I thought it was crazy for doing that, but no, they actually make a lot of it back.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in touch with them or Amazon or Netflix. Yeah, I got some ideas.
I
got 2 movies and I got 2 TV series. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's talk because they need new stuff all the time. I know people don't like that Netflix keeps canceling stuff, but I think I know why they're doing it. Because one thing I hate about standard television is when they keep a show too doggone long. Arrowverse, Supernatural.
Right. That stuff is so long in the teeth. It's hard to keep up with.
Yeah, I mean sometimes
I tried to get back into Supergirl. I don't know what I was thinking.
Why did you do that to yourself?
I don't know. I was hoping that it was gonna. Oh man, I forgot what episode I left off on.
They canceled it. So
I know.
People got mad, but I'm like, dude, the show has not done well since season 1.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't. Like them going to CW was so that CBS, because CBS was gonna cancel them.
Yeah.
CBS ain't used to having low numbers. They cancel stuff with high numbers.
Yeah, the CBS is they want, they know their audience and they know how many eyes they can get on a show.
Yeah.
And that Supergirl was not doing it for them.
Yeah. So you're lucky. You better be happy CW went and got it. So, and people wasn't watching it. Because I stopped watching it because to me, they weren't staying true to the character. They was doing that they did some stuff that I felt was blasphemous as a comic book fan.
Yeah,
and
they just kept pissing me off about how she was the most powerful person. No, she's not. No, she's not.
Because I had a couple of my friends call me and ask me about that scene in season 2, and I'm like, I had to go explain to them how powerful Superman is.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that scene broke me with that show. It broke me.
Yeah. I'm sitting there. I'm like, first of all, Superman is the most broken character in all of fiction.
Yeah, he totally is.
He is broken, but the fact of the matter is, even going by that show's own rules, she's not stronger than him.
No,
she got to Earth when she was 14. He had been on Earth for 20-something years already before that.
Yeah.
So technically, she's older than him, but he's been on Earth absorbing the sun
28 years.
Yeah. So
like
all of a sudden, now he's weaker than it. That breaks your own show's rules. So you're not even following your own rules to follow an agenda. I couldn't get back. I couldn't get with that. And on top of that, if you actually read the source material, Kara is dope on her own.
She is. She's badass. Like, I don't
own.
understand.
That's all. Like, but that's what happens when you have people who don't read the comic. That's why I have a problem with when people get mad at me for saying the Fox X-Men was horrible. I'm like, they were.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you go and watch that, the 90s X-Men cartoon did a whole better job.
Way better.
Matter of fact, all they had to do, if they didn't want to read the comic, if you just had to do the Phoenix Saga, just go watch them 10 episodes and you would have had enough information to make your movie.
Right.
And make it make sense.
And here's the thing. If you'd watch those episodes, 4 of them, that's a 2-hour movie. So you could have, you know what I'm saying? You could have squeezed that in. You could have made it work.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll go up a whole nother tangent. We go there.
But that's what I mean by it, because I think that's why I'm not as, I'm not as worried, I should say, about the movie industry. Because I'm like, some of this stuff, if we're being completely honest with ourselves, a lot of this stuff didn't need to be in the theater to begin with.
Right.
I mean, just being honest. And a lot of this superhero stuff, like, I'm glad that Marvel, I know a lot of people hate Marvel, whatever your feelings on that is. I really don't care. I'm glad that
people hate Marvel for what?
They hate that they got as popular as they got. People got to be contrarian. So, but I'm glad that they broke their stuff up into TV shows as well, because now you get the backstory to a lot of stuff. You'll be able to get backstory and you can broaden stuff out that you can't do in a 2-hour movie.
Right. Like what they're doing on Disney Plus.
Yeah, guess what's going to happen when HBO sees that it's working on Disney Plus? Your favorite DC show is going to get some DC TV shows.
Well, I mean, they already said Green Lantern was coming, so
yep,
clearly they're already on that page because it's smart.
So I'm like, my thing is, why can't we just like all of it?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah, so
I don't understand that stuff at all.
But that's where I'm at on it, because I'm like, okay, some of this stuff, like even, I'm a big advocate because I want Static Shock. I do. But at this point, if you just give me a streaming show of Static Shock done well with some money behind it, I'm fine with that too.
I would almost prefer that,
Yeah, I'm fine with that too, because at this point,
because a lot of people don't know who Static Shock is, and I think that's the best way. Instead of doing a 2-hour movie out there, I think it's great to do a TV show.
Yeah, because that way you get more backstory. I mean, that cartoon was amazing.
It was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, they did a good job with that entire, especially in tying it into DC as well, even though he was a milestone character. The way they tied it in was perfect. So
it was perfect.
I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, because Michael B. Jordan and his production company actually is going to be producing Static Shock, but they didn't say it was going to be a TV show.
Right.
Or a movie. I'm guessing they're trying to go for a movie, but nowadays I think, bro, your best shot may be talking to HBO Max and being like, hey,
HBO Max. Yeah, you got to go. I think you got to go HBO Max with it.
Yeah. Like, because if y'all gonna put money behind it, like Disney's putting money behind Star Wars and the Marvel stuff, if y'all gonna give us like 150 to do it, 150 million to do it, we'll make that back, because you think people are not gonna, black folks ain't gonna find a way to get HBO Max. They will.
Of course. I already got it. I'm just.
That's gonna be part of that's gonna be part of required watching, like it was in the 90s. We had to watch Fresh Prince, Martin, Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Right.
Different World. You didn't have a choice. That's what you watched. Oh
man, that was the Black Block. You had to watch that Black Block.
Malcolm and Eddie, you watching all of that. The Wayans brothers, everything black, you watched it.
That's right.
That was a required viewing in the African American household. At least it was in mine.
Yeah, because it was a renaissance. You didn't know when you're gonna be able to see that again. We haven't really seen that since.
No, because now we got reality TV shows. Wow.
Yeah, trash.
Straight garbage. Because now I think about it, like, you realize we had shows about going to college?
Yeah, like that was unheard of.
Yeah.
I mean, much as Bill Cosby, he totally fell from grace, and it's his own fault. But he put out some shows that made me think about college. I was thinking about it when I wasn't really thinking about it before. So
that's the thing. Like when you see stuff like that, I'm like, dude, well, exactly what he did. He was messed up. He was wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that, but to sit there and pretend like he didn't have a positive.
Yeah, I mean that there was that other side,
Yeah.
the side that we saw most of was that kind of pro-black,
Yeah.
just look at this middle class black family and not just we in the hood kind of stuff. There's
No,
a doctor and a lawyer for parents. Like we hadn't seen that on television. We saw Sanford and Son in the junkyard. We saw the Jeffersons, but they had to move on up. They had to get lucky and strike rich. So.
And that was straight up luck. When you
that was luck.
That was straight up luck.
Still a great show, though. Still a great show.
Yeah.
But we hadn't seen like that whole family structure, and you could, where a show where you could completely swap all the characters out and be white, and it just be a show. Like there would just be a show you saw all the time anyway.
But for us,
we needed something like that. So,
but for us, it was special because
it was special.
And it didn't stereotype us as hood or
exactly.
It didn't show us in a bad. It actually showed us in a good light.
Yeah, it was great.
And
all his shows, he had that one, Cosby Show. Then he had a Different World, like you said, and he basically spent that off for Lisa Bonet, but she just was not. She ain't care nothing about none of that stuff. But she was.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't know this, but Cosby helped a lot of them other shows get put on their networks too.
Right. He totally did. Just having that show greenlit a lot of other shows. They saw how popular Cosby was. Like, oh, black people actually do watch TV.
Money trumps everything in Hollywood.
Yeah. People think it's just racism and not. There's some degree of that in there, but it all comes down to money at the end of the day. Like if you can prove that you can make money, they don't give a damn if it's green people or purple. They don't care. Can I sell it?
What was that? The lady that was at Sony said Denzel Washington couldn't sell a movie.
Right.
And then Black Panther came out, and now everybody trying to grab every black thing they can.
Right. If you give us the same opportunity, we can do the same stuff.
Same thing. So I mean, it's one of those situations, and it's like, so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm like, you know what? If they, because I remember when Luke Cage dropped on Netflix, and it pretty much stalled out the servers.
Yeah.
Everybody was jumped on. I'm like,
Luke Cage had my wife watching the comic books TV show. I'm like, what? Like, what are you? She don't care nothing about no comics. She don't care nothing about none of that stuff. But she was watching Luke Cage.
Woman, I've been trying to get you to watch Daredevil for the past 3 months.
Seriously. I was like, can you watch Daredevil, please? Nah, I'm watching Luke Cage, though.
Look, I know this is New York Undercover, but God dang it. But yeah, I feel you on that because I had got a couple people who hate anything geek related. I had them watching Daredevil. I had them watching Luke Cage. I had them watching Jessica Jones. They're like, these are good. When this coming back up? I'm like, I'll let you know when they greenlight the second season.
Right. And you know what happened? Because she started watching Luke Cage and started watching Jessica Jones and stuff like that, she said, oh, these are actually good shows. It's not just about, I have to be some kind of person that, watches or reads comics. Now she's watching The Boys. I didn't even have to prompt her to watch The Boys. So it opens up people to more stuff.
Because if you do the characters with respect from the source material, people will watch it.
Yeah.
If you give them respect. The problem is when you have somebody like Bryan Singer and Simon Kinberg.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's what was so disrespectful about Bill Maher. He's a moron. When he said that,
like so bad. This dude want to be down so bad it pisses me off.
Well, when he said that about Stan Lee and whatnot, and
didn't have the guts to say it when he was alive. Had to wait till he was dead.
Right, and it was just bad all around because he doesn't realize. He's one of those, people on the outside that don't realize these are serious stories in
Yeah.
these, cartoon books, as you want to call them. There's a reason adults are reading this stuff. It's not because they're trying to relive their childhood. It's that there's a lot of material still in these books for them.
I'm like,
So, but
one
he
of
doesn't
my
understand that he's a pompous, whatever.
yeah, he'll pump his ass. Um,
Right.
one of my favorite X-Men stories is the Operation Zero Tolerance. If
Right.
you wanted, there was a reason why I knew 20th Century Fox was never going to allow the Friends of
Mm-hmm.
Humanity or Operation Zero Tolerance arcs to ever be made into a film.
Yeah, it's a little too
Mhm.
a little too much.
I think
I'll
Disney
say.
will though.
Disney, well, they'll probably do it. Yeah.
They'll probably do that first.
Yeah, didn't they like open up a adult segment or whatever on
They're supposed
Disney
to.
Plus? Or
They're
they
supposed
are talking about it or something like
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
because that's where they're gonna. The rumor is that's where they're gonna put Blade when like the Blade movie comes out. They're gonna put Blade and Deadpool and all that on that.
Oh. Okay,
And
so does that
Blade and Deadpool gonna be rated R.
Blade has to be rated?
Yeah, Blade and Deadpool. They've been confirmed. They're not changing their status.
Punisher, please. Punisher, please. Can we have Punisher back?
Well, we gotta wait till 2021.
Yeah,
Remember
I'm
that-
just saying, like when
that's the
you know,
Netflix
at some point, I want
Yeah.
Punisher to be redeemed in the movie theaters or on the big screen.
I think they can, and the good thing is, like the Netflix show. Even though I felt like there was too many episodes for a Frank Castle show because
Yeah,
of how that character is, you can't. He don't need 13 episodes. He needs 6
yeah,
because
6.
whoever he's fighting gonna die.
Right.
I don't need to drag this
8.
out.
I mean, eight is pushing it, but
Yeah.
certainly no more than 8.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think what's going to happen is once that one and Jessica Jones are able to, because I think Luke is free. Luke and Iron Fist are back at Marvel now. I think Daredevil's next month. They'll be back at Marvel, and then Punisher and Jessica Jones will be next year back at Marvel.
I hope they just continue that show because homegirl, what's her name, who can't find work for whatever reasons. They need her back in there. No. On Daredevil, the redhead.
Oh, Charlie Cox.
Yeah, she's saying she can't find work.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which
I don't know why.
But you know what?
Best parts of that. Yeah.
There's one problem though. She did do a couple movies after Daredevil got canceled. Them kind of horrible.
Yeah. Well, that's probably because she was struggling to find work.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like Deborah Ann Woll, because she's done like the stuff she did in True Blood was good.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with her. She's a good actress. She's one of the best parts of that series of the Marvel Netflix shows. Really? She was one of the best parts of it.
Yeah,
she was so believable as a character. So
yeah, even though there was some times when Matt Murdock was pissing every man off.
Oh God! Like, what are you doing, bro? Like please.
Your name
Take
is
the
not
woman.
Queen. The hell with this city. Queen.
The woman is screaming to be taken. Take her, please. You're driving me insane over here.
All right, leave her around Luke Cage or Danny and see what happens.
I was like, she don't let the Punisher have her at least. I mean, somebody.
Yeah, please.
Let
I don't think I've ever rooted for a woman to get laid that hard.
Like her relationship with Frank Castle was just like brilliant. Like
yeah, because I love their back and forth. Their back and forth was like awesome. But yeah, it was one of the situations where like her, and I want her. Actually, I want Charlie Cox, her, and Vincent D'Onofrio in the MCU. Them three should come to the MCU.
Yeah,
straight up. I would love for Mike Coulter to come, but he got too many shows now, so he can't do it. He couldn't even if he wanted to. Him and Simone miss it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of sad a little bit because I like the actors in the Luke Cage
Isn't she on like a CBS show or something?
She's on a CBS show, and she got a couple of Netflix shows.
Oh, okay.
Well, Alter Carbon did get canceled, but
yeah,
I think
it got canceled.
Alter Carbon got canceled.
Yeah, it should have. The second season was trash.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It was. What did they do? Why'd they do that? What was
Well,
wrong with Joel Kinnaman? I liked him in that role. He was
I did not like Joel Kinnaman, so
really.
no,
I
I
did
didn't.
not like Anthony Mackie because I just kept seeing Anthony Mackie. I
Yeah,
wanted Joel
that
Kinnaman
was the
back because he
problem with
was.
getting Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, like I know they went after the star, but it didn't work for that role. You know, like
You know who should have did it was the guy William Lee who kept doing the flashbacks.
yeah, I mean, like why don't you just have him do it? Like
Make him do it. He's there anyway.
right, he's there. Just have him do it. Like
Yeah,
I
'cause
would
I'm
have been
like,
fine if season 2 was him. That
yeah,
would have
that's
been
my thing
better.
was season 2 should have been he found his body, he found his sleep,
Yeah,
and they
right,
put him in it. That way, we ain't got to worry about this.
right. All this weird stuff. I'm confused now. I don't know what's going
Yeah,
on.
because William Lee is an awesome actor.
He's
That's
a
all,
great,
like,
yeah, he's a really good actor.
why does he keep getting shafted? Do not shaft this man.
Hey, speaking of Asian actors, what's her name? And she's in The Boys. She played what's her name in Suicide Squad?
Karen Fukuhara.
Yeah, Fukuhara. Why the hell won't they let this lady talk in anything? Everything I see her in, she's mute.
Usually I would be pissed off about this, but in The Boys, that character is mute. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, because even
it seems like only the role.
Suicide Squad, she had like 2 or 3 lines because her lines, a lot of people get misconstrued because there's a couple of deleted scenes where they show her talk more.
Yeah,
but in that
film, I'm not asking you to make characters who are mute talk. What I'm saying is, why are they only giving her mute roles? Like, she speaks English better than I do. Like, I don't understand.
Because she has
the problem
YouTube channel. Like, her YouTube channel is dope.
Like, I literally went and looked her up. I'm like, is she like mute in real life? And I just don't know. And I'm like, no, she is not. She's speaking, and she speaks English really well. So I don't understand. It's just she keeps getting cast. I guess I don't know.
That's a
she has a very strong look, which is weird because if you see her like in an interview or on her YouTube channel, she doesn't look like that. It's so weird that she could just transform her face basically.
Well, the messed up thing about it is, and I think this goes back to what I read. That's why I'm kind of glad Jeff Loeb got kicked to the curb because Peter Shikanada, the actor who played Nobu in Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that they weren't even told about the Daredevil premiere?
Really?
Him and the lady that played Madame Gao, and she's like a celebrated actress.
They didn't tell her. They didn't tell
either one of them. I'm so glad Jeff Loeb got removed.
Yeah, he was garbage, man.
Because if that's how you run your shop, man,
that's
garbage.
Beyond disrespectful.
Mad disrespectful. It's just mad disrespectful. So yeah, bro. Normally I don't be happy about people, but if you acting like that, I don't feel nothing for you.
Yeah,
because you have, these are 2 actors who did a hell. Because I'll tell you like this. I like Nobu better than the dude they had in Defenders.
Oh boy.
No, totally. Like they should have just had Nobu back for that. Because that guy they had in Defenders that's supposed to have been over him, he didn't do nothing.
Nothing.
I'm like
a wet blanket.
I'm like, you should have just had Nobu. You shouldn't have killed Nobu in Daredevil season 2. You should have had him for Defenders if this is what you're gonna do, because you already had an established character. So, but we already know about the many mistakes we've been over that that they made. So, I mean, it's one of those situations where I'm sitting there like, man, I don't like this. That's why I'm so hopeful for like movies like Shang-Chi. I'm like, man, I hope that movie does well. I hate that it, because this is another one that got pushed back too. I'm like, Disney, you may have to put that on your premium thing. Yeah, I'll buy it because like I didn't complain about the $30 because like I said, that's basically me going and buy myself to a IMAX ticket.
Yeah, you're talking about
when they did Mulan.
But Mulan,
because people.
I didn't care about the price. It's like, oh, you can't put it up there free. for people
Yeah,
to
you
watch.
can't.
Like what?
Like
They
this is a
spent
business, not a
hundreds of
charity.
millions of dollars on it.
Yeah, it's a business, not a charity, dude. And on top
Yeah.
of that, because when I saw people complaining, I'm asking people, I'm like, okay, so you married? Because a lot of people that was complaining was married and had kids. I'm like, okay, so when y'all go to the movies, how much do you spend? Do you buy concessions? Okay, so if you buy concessions along with everybody's tickets, if you go at night, you're spending way more than $30.
Oh, of course.
Even if you go to a matinee, you spending way more than $30, especially if you got 2 or more kids
Yeah, and
and your wife
you don't get to do
and
all
you.
the stuff you get to do at home.
Yeah.
While you're watching, you can pause it and get up and go to the bathroom. You can't do that in the movie theater.
And on top of that, you could because I was even doing the math, and I'm like, dude, I can order me a pizza, a full pizza. I ain't got to get a slice. A
Right.
full pizza. I got something to drink at the crib, and I can drink as much alcohol as I want if I want to, and I'm
Exactly.
good.
And you ain't got to get in your car and drive home afterwards. You can just you're already home.
And most of the times, like that'll be what 37. Now, if I went on a date, that'd have been like close to 100 because you got to go
Right.
out to eat, go to the movies. If it's IMAX, that's what 25, 26 a pop, depending on what theater you go to.
Right.
So that's 50 right there. You get concessions because once again you're on a date. So I wouldn't get concessions by myself. Big person. But
I just didn't understand. Like, people saying, "Oh, Disney's ripping off their subscribers." I'm like, no,
they're not. No, they are.
First of all, Disney Plus is $6. It's you can find that in your couch cushions, and like maybe you could say, well, maybe it should have been 25 for people who had Disney Plus. I mean, that's the lowest I would go.
Yeah, I wouldn't go because once again, like because we living in a time where you got people. I have a 4K TV that's basically IMAX,
right?
Basically, essentially, most people
have Dolby surround setups and
most people have 55 and up TVs.
Yeah.
So I don't see what that's not a problem if you actually sit down and add it up. Especially people who got, like I said, who got wives and who have families, you spending that's cheaper because you at the house, you got food in the kitchen, you got
it's 4 of us. How much is 4 tickets? That's at least $40.
Yeah, and
already you ain't bought nothing to eat or nothing yet. You ain't sat down.
And when you go look at them concessions, you really gonna get mad.
Exactly.
So shoot, y'all can, and then on top of that, on demand, most times you keep it for 48 hours, so you can watch it at least 2 or 3 times.
You can watch it. You can't do that in the movie theater. You only get one view, and that's it. Get out of there.
Yeah, if you want to watch it again, you're gonna pay again.
Yeah, it makes no sense. The people that was upset about it. You can say the movie wasn't great, which I've heard a lot of people say.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
The price. There's nothing wrong with the price. None of that stuff.
No.
If anything, what Disney should have done was offer a discount. This is what I would have done if I was Disney. Offer a discount to Disney Plus subscribers, and then put it on other platforms as well for the full price.
Yeah,
that's what I would have done.
It's on Google Play and Apple Air, I think now.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw it because so guilty pleasure movies of the weekend. I went and got The Big Hit and Double Team. So I just wanted to see if those movies are as bad as I remember. Big Hit I actually enjoyed now. Double Team, it still sucked. So
again, Double Team is one of those guilty pleasures. It's not a good movie, but I'll sit down and watch it. I ain't gonna go to the movie theater to watch it, but I'll say if it's on, I'll watch it because I find it entertaining.
I forgot how funny Robin was.
He's funny in that movie.
Yeah, Rodman is not a bad actor in action movies. He's actually pretty good.
No. Yeah, you put him in the right thing, he'll work.
Yeah. So I forgot how it's still a garbage movie because judges don't make sense.
It's the story is stupid. It makes no sense. But I find the action entertaining, and I think Rodman and Van Damme together have good chemistry. I thought they were good.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad team. Big Hit. I just forgot how funny that movie was.
Yeah.
Because Avery Brooks as a Captain Cisco as a mafia kingpin doing Shakespeare at his meetings. Lou Diamond Phillips acting like he ain't got no common sense.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those situations where I'm like, okay, so when I was looking for that, I'm like, Mulan, because it's Mulan and it's something that Dylan O'Brien movie with Jessica Henwick, the monster movie, The Love and Monsters, that one's up on that too. So I'm like, okay, so I guess they finally put it out, but I agree with you. They should have had a discount for the actual subscribers.
Yeah, because that'll drive subscribers. Like if you're a new subscriber, give you an even bigger discount. Try to get people in to your streaming service and give them an incentive.
At that point, Black Widow, Feige, just cut your losses. I know people are gonna be mad. I know people are gonna be upset that it's not gonna be in theaters, but just go on and be like, put them in both.
Especially if it doesn't tie in to what's the upcoming movies. Which it doesn't. It's a prequel.
Yeah. So you have said this. You have gone on record saying this. I don't know how many times. So if it's truly a standalone, why do you care?
It's just what's the name that plays the character?
Scarlett Johansson.
It's just a We're Sorry Scarlett movie. Because we should have done this a long time ago, but we'll finally give you your movie.
I hate to be that guy, but I'm gonna say it right now. Just like the Gambit movie that Fox wanted to do, Black Widow works better as a member of a team. She only had one good story, and that was Bloody Ledger.
Right. So it's not.
It's a character that works best when she's with.
She's a supporting character. She's not a lead character. There are female characters that are leads. Wonder Woman is a lead. I'm not sure about Captain Marvel. Storm should be a lead.
Yeah. But not Natasha.
Hell, even Elektra. Yeah, they got the damn movie right.
Yeah, that's like making Mystique a lead. And we
saw
how that worked out.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well, did it?
Because she's not. That's not her. That's not her gig.
No.
The
early like a lead.
Hey T, I think I lost you.
I'm here.
Okay, there you go. All right.
I think I'm on my iPad, so it went to sleep. So.
Oh.
What did you hear? What was the last thing you heard me say?
I just heard it started going down as soon as you said Scarlett Johansson's name.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just saying that, Black Widow's character is not a lead character; he's a side character.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not a knock. I mean,
no, it's not. It's just a character. It has nothing to do with Scarlett Johansson. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just about the character.
I think people were like, "Oh, so since now Hollywood is supposedly woke now, they just like, oh, she got to have a movie." And I'm like, yeah, but the character ain't one that.
I don't want to see a Hawkeye movie either. Get out of here.
Like the Hawkeye TV series makes sense.
TV series, sure.
Hawkeye got a movie? No, it wouldn't make sense.
No. He's not that dude.
I mean, that's why I was so glad, because like Gambit's one of my favorite characters, and I'm like, this movie's gonna bomb.
Yeah, like
the movie's gonna bomb.
I love Gambit, but I don't think he's not a leading dude.
He works better as part of the X-Men. He does not work best on his own. Judge that by the plethora of comics that
Gambit right. He's my favorite.
I think your pad is going to sleep again.
But this doesn't work, huh?
I think your pad was going to sleep again because you kind of phased out again.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. It's awake. I don't.
But yeah, he is one of those characters where you're like, okay, I understand what they want to do, and I know Channing Tatum is a somewhat big name, but this ain't gonna work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was just a situation where the producer was wanted some Tatum. That's all.
Oh yeah, ooh, boy, did she ever?
That's all.
I'm like,
That's all.
lady, your thirst is like when you that thirsty in an interview. That just tells that signals to me that you don't care that people know. You just don't care. You're like, look, I don't care if my husband know. He know. Like, dang. Like, and I know she didn't say that, but if you would have saw that interview she did, and she just kept gushing over Channing Tatum, I'm like, bruh, you might want to not take no drink from her because she might.
Right. You better be on.
Like the way she acting.
Filming because you in a Kristen Stewart situation. You don't.
Yeah,
you didn't watch your wife, son.
I'm like, bro, like that's the way she was, and like this is like in a legit interview. Like I forgot who it was with, but I'm like, this ain't like no. I think it was with Collider. I'm like, this ain't like no little blog spot they got lucky and ran up on that damn Comic-Con. No, I forgot who it was with, but I'm like, I'm like, okay, lady.
The thirst is real.
I'm like, you watch Magic Mike one time too many, apparently.
Apparently.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations. So am I looking forward to Black Widow? Kinda, because I just want to see how they pull this off, and I want to see what this Taskmaster is going to be like.
I want to see Taskmaster. That's sad. That's what I want to see most in the Black Widow movie is how they handle Taskmaster.
Yeah, because Taskmaster is a beast until he runs up on Deadpool, which that's leads to be hilarious. But yeah, so if you bring in Ryan Reynolds, you best believe Ryan Reynolds gonna make you let it because that's who he wanted to be the villain of the first Deadpool movie, and Marvel wouldn't let him do it.
Right.
So now he gets his wish.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Deadpool 3 is gonna have Taskmaster in it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they don't do that. They're stupid.
Yeah, they're dumb. But that's the other thing too. I'm hoping. I'm just hoping that they find a way that works. Me personally, I think that it would be a good idea, especially with your stuff like Widow that's not connected to anything. Just go on and put it out and don't delay it no more because you're messing up your whole lineup doing that. Because everything got pushed back because they had to delay it out of May. Then it got pushed back in because they had to delay it out of what is it? They were supposed to do it in August, I think it was.
August, yeah.
And we still ain't got a trailer for Eternals yet.
Nope.
Even though that movie's supposedly finished.
It pushed stuff on the other side too, like Batman. Batman, like, oh, really? Y'all pushing that into 2022? Come on, because man.
Wonder Woman got pushed back out of the November slot, so
all the way to next summer.
Yeah, because that got pushed off. That because at first they said they were gonna try to do it at Christmas. Then they realized that, hey man, these theaters ain't gonna be open.
No,
I'm like, no, they're not.
Like, yeah, we're heading into flu season. It's gonna get worse.
Yeah, so you trying to do that now? That's why I was like, all right, HBO. Since DC doesn't have anything that connects to anything, why don't you just go on and put them out in both?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Tenet did okay, but Tenet did not make as much as they would have made if it was full.
I feel so bad for Tenet. It did all right, but it didn't do what a Nolan movie would have done with no
that
issues.
Movie would have made at least $1 billion had it came out to full capacity.
Yeah.
At least. But I mean, dude, you're not going to like they got mad. Theaters got mad at Bond for moving out of 2020. I'm like, bro,
what do you want them to do? Throw all the money away and burn it? Like,
like, dude, what is going on? Like, that's the thing I'm not getting. Look, I get that AMC and Regal are having some problems now, but bruh. Okay, so was everybody else.
But these companies are not going to burn hundreds of millions of dollars because you're having issues. They got to take themselves.
Yeah, so I'm surprised. Now I will say this: I'm surprised that MGM just didn't say, "Okay, HBO, let's cut that deal." I'm surprised they didn't say that.
Right.
Because I thought they was gonna say that because they trying to push ahead the next Bond movie. because they want to get a younger Bond in. So they already trying to film that one. They trying to get that one filmed already. They trying to start production on that one. So I'm like, if
Henry
y'all already trying to
Cavill.
do that, you might as well just throw this on HBO Max and call it a day.
Yeah, I think it's time for Henry to play Bond.
Henry,
but
I think Henry should.
They probably won't go with him.
I think he should though, because he's not. Well, no, I need him with a good director.
Yeah,
it depends on who directing it. It depends on who directing it, because I like Henry Cavill, but when he's with it, he needs a good director.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have him with just anybody, because God knows I don't want to see him with Zack Snyder.
Yeah, and the rumor is that he's difficult to work with and all that stuff.
Well, that's because he's a nerd.
Yeah.
He's a nerd. He
That's true. It's true.
Stuff done right.
Yeah. He's probably that's what difficult to work with means. I have a vision that I would like to implement as well. You know, I would like to be a partner in this movie and not just some asset.
Yeah. I mean, I could, because I always knew he was kind of a nerd, but I didn't know it was to that level till he did that PC tear down and build, and women lost their mind over it.
Mm-hmm.
That was hilarious to me. But I was like, okay, yeah, this dude, he real about his nerdism.
Yeah.
Like he for real with it. So I'm like, okay, so they say he's difficult to work with. Nah, he ain't difficult to work with. Y'all just can't bully him.
Well, they say that about a lot of people. They just want to, you know.
Yeah. Because they don't do what they're like, no, I'm not doing it that way. I'm doing it this way.
Right.
So yeah, it is what it is on that. But thank you guys for listening to us, you know, talk about theaters and their, you know, issues. Because as somebody that loves going to the movies, I'm like, yeah, I'd rather be safe than
sorry.
the potentially jacked up. So
yeah.
And me being an introvert, that ain't hurting me staying at home watching stuff on Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu and Disney Plus. I'm good.
I'm already doing that anyway. It ain't hurting me.
Anyway, so it's not hurting me at all. But let us know in the comments what you guys think. I'm really interested in hearing what other movie-going people would like to hear, especially you guys that have families. I actually want to hear what you guys think. Do you think it's one of those situations where it's better served giving people both options, or what? Just leave us a comment and let us know. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to support Mr. T and his channel. His channel's dope. It's fire. Go watch it.
Thank you, my man. Thank you.
No problem. Also, don't forget to watch the Winging It podcast on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as the Geek Life Gaming channel. Because I did have to move all my gaming stuff over to that channel because of Google being so loving to me. Yeah. So that is it. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely evening and lovely rest of your week. And we will see you guys on the next vid. Peace out, peeps.
Peace.